my nigga, let's link up.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of The Link Up. Of course, I am your host, Ron the Don. Another episode of Off the Court with my co-host, Ty. And we already done got started, ladies and gentlemen. We just got on the chat and we already debating. But before we get started, I just appreciate everybody who tune in every episode, man. It really means a lot to me. Hopefully we can just keep growing so I can keep going. And we just ask that you like, share, comment, and subscribe. And if you listen to this on any podcast outlets, that star rating would definitely be helpful. So, appreciate to everybody who listening to this. But yeah, man, we just gonna jump right into it. Basically, we was having a debate of worst superstar ever. This is off the comments of Stephen A. Smith, who basically labeled Kawhi as the worst superstar ever. And I'm just gonna give my point of view first. I don't agree. I feel like it's not Kawhi's fault that he been hurt. Like, I'm gonna let Ty explain why he'll counteract that, but I just feel like it ain't true. But you can go ahead and give your reasoning. Two Finals MVPs. Sound good. Not.
Just need, yeah. But sometimes even your own coach don't know when you playing or when you're not playing. And for team chemistry, what does that do for team chemistry? You got to build, they say build championship habits throughout the whole season, not you know, oh let's just say Kawhi to the playoffs. Let's just say Kawhi to the playoffs. Ain't no guarantee once you get there. So it's like it's like box office. He is the worst superstar ever. I remember the days of Kobe playing with broken fingers, broken this, broken that, but Kobe still gonna show up to put that work in.
Man, this is what I'm gonna say, man. I got two things to say. First, the man Paul George on his own team literally said, "You try to go out there, you want to play, but the medical staff tell you not to." So if they telling this man not to go out there, then clearly it's not his fault that he ain't going out there. I'm pretty
And
sure Kawhi want to play. And then my second point is, when it started in San Antonio, was Tim Duncan not a superstar? Was he not getting load managed and his minutes cut short? So
don't tell me the
was he? So was he really the first one to start it?
we can't even compare. First of all, we can't even. I ain't gonna even let you do that to Tim Duncan. Like we can't
No,
even
Tim Duncan,
compare.
he the greatest power forward of all
We
time.
can't.
Now,
We can't even compare games played. Like Tim is up there in the 70s. Like games played every
bro.
year. But
But I'm sorry to
but
cut you off, but he ain't never had no catastrophic injury like that though.
oh, here we go. Built-in excuses. My thing is, look, built-in excuses. My thing is, you think people in the early 2000s, shit, even the 2010s, then have team doctors to be like, hey, not tonight. Maybe we should rest. Like everybody get that. But Kawhi is like, Kawhi penciled Kawhi for 50 games or less. He actually surprised me this year with games played, amount of games he did play this year. So I got to give him big ups for that. But if you want to give you the totality from the time he got to LA, like as a marquee superstar player, ain't no guarantee you gonna see him on that bill every night. And that's I see what Stephen A is going with the worst superstar ever, but he got evidence to back that up.
Man, the way I see it, man, forget what Stephen A talking about, man. With all due respect, I love Stephen A. Kawhi got two Finals MVPs. one against LeBron, one against the Warriors. Granted, they was hurt. I give you that one. And the man, when he do play a lot of games, he a lot for all NBA and all defensive team, bruh. Like, so
This
I can't say
wait,
that he
wait.
the.
This is the same Kawhi that you said you weren't too sure he should have been on the All NBA team.
Nah,
This same
I
Kawhi?
didn't say that. I said I was
Oh, okay.
surprised that he was all NBA second team.
Oh, okay, okay. So you say he should have been All
I,
NBA. I guess I ain't hear that correct. My bad.
but I was gonna say, don't put them people on my behind now. But
But
nah, I mean, do you, if not Kawhi, does anybody else come to mind as worst superstar? Some people say Kevin Durant because he ain't never really done it by himself. Uh, James Harden because he never was able to break through. You
if
know,
I my vote would be for James Harden. Um, James Harden is pretty much every stop he's been to. When he doesn't feel, you know, that he want to be there no more, he just forces his way out. I mean, the first situation wasn't really his fault. I think it was they didn't want to match the money or pay him like an extra $5 to $10 million. Is the reason why he pretty much got traded from OKC to Houston.
yeah, they
But
paid Surge over him.
yeah, they paid Surge, and Oklahoma City is a small market, so they didn't want to get into luxury back then, which is understandable. So they traded him to Houston, uh, and I can understand paying Surge over James at the time because you already had a point guard and Russell, and you had a small forward already in Kevin Durant. So it's kind of one of those things of you got to pick the lesser of the two. It's like, yeah, I'd rather have a big man that can block shots, and a lot of people forget Serge Ibaka was nice, back then. So I get it. When he went to Houston, you pretty much gave him the ball, and it's your world. He got close to the finals a couple times, but ran into the Warriors. But since then, it's like, you force your way out of Houston. Everybody, saw allegedly he got big. I thought he just had like a suit, Batman suit on, but, he forced his way out of Houston. Brooklyn, with the whole COVID situation, Kyrie not playing, you didn't want to be there anymore. You forced your way to Philly. You know, I guess things weren't going your way with Philly either because you forced your way back to LA. So you basically jump from team to team, and your track record is when you don't get your way, you want out. So I would give him my number one vote for worst superstar.
Man, the thing I'm not gonna say. I don't know. I don't want to label James the worst. I don't know. He was cold, but like the thing that will always hurt his legacy was when they was up on the Warriors in that series and they didn't get it done. I
Yeah,
forgot what year that was, but that should
I
have been
think
the one.
they missed over like 23s in a row. Are you talking about that
But
year, or the one when KD
yeah,
got hurt?
the not like KD, yeah, the one that KD was hurt. I think they was up in that series, and they allowed the Warriors to beat them in Houston in Game
No, no, no,
Six.
no. They was down. They were up the year before and lost in Game 7.
Oh well, whichever one they should have won both of them years. I think. Oh
Yeah,
no, that was the year that they set like the record for like threes or something like that
yeah.
as a
Mhm,
team.
mhm.
But they should have beat them in both years. To be honest, like they was the only team that probably could have throughout that
Yeah,
whole era.
yeah.
But I got a question for you because this was more around like this is like not before my time because I grew up watching him, but you know more about him than me per se.
Mhm.
Carmelo Anthony, what would you say in like if somebody was to say he was the worst superstar ever?
Um, I don't feel like Melo was worse. I wouldn't put him on that list for me. I feel like Melo gets a bad rap. A lot of people when he got traded felt like demanded to be out of Denver. Melo came out and said, he never asked to be traded. Um, it was something that the front office felt that was needed. They wanted to go in a different direction. And when they traded him to New York, they pretty much had to give up everything to get him. So you kind of was back in the same situation you left, Denver. Denver was winning at the time. They went to a conference finals, I believe, in his tenure there. So he did good things in New York. They had a solid run. I think it was 2013, I believe. I think they ended up facing the Heat in the second round. I mean, there's no knock against that. So uh, I might be a little biased to Melo, but I don't put Melo on that list. To me, not for me.
Well, speaking of, superstars, we got a star-studded finals coming our way. The Mavericks finally closed out the series in 5 games, where we saw Luka and Kyrie go off for 36 apiece, and got it done in Minnesota. And so they're going to Boston this Thursday to face Boston in Game 1 of the NBA Finals. Where do you think? Do you think this is going to be an interesting series? What's crazy to me is a lot of people are saying that the Mavericks going to win all of a sudden, basically trying to make the Boston Celtics the underdogs. I think that's hilarious. But I'm interested to hear your thoughts on this matchup.
I think a lot of people are kind of riding with the hot hand, hot story when it comes to Mavericks. I actually think it's going to be a very interesting series. I actually have the Celtics winning, but I think the Mavericks can make it more interesting than some people would think. I was saying the other day, I feel like if the Mavericks can limit the 3-point shooting, 'cause that's usually when the Celtics go crazy, when they're just bombing from deep and create those big leads. I feel like if they can keep the game close, they have a chance, because the Celtics have a tendency over the years to play hero ball in the fourth quarter. And that usually doesn't work well for them. When they're at their best is when they're moving the ball, creating actions. For Derek White to hit threes, Drew Holiday hit corner threes, Porzingis to pick and pop. Keeping the ball moving. But when they play hero ball with Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown, and you catch them on the off the night, you have a chance. I feel like though Boston has the better team, Dallas definitely has the better closer. I feel like the ball in Kyrie's hands, fourth quarter against anybody. I know Drew Holiday's all-world defense. I know Derek White is good defensively. Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum, but I have a lot of faith in Kyrie and Luka. Enough. Ain't much you can say about Luka. I just feel like they have the best two closers in this series. So if the game can get down to the fourth quarter, last 5 minutes to go, I give Dallas an advantage in those situations. But ultimately, I feel like over the course of a series, Boston will wear them down, and Boston will take it this year.
Yeah. I mean, as a known Celtics hater, I would love for the Mavericks to win, but I got the Celtics in 6. The only way I see the Mavericks winning the series, obviously, I feel like they're gonna try to target Luka and Kyrie on mismatches, and then try to have the Dallas bigs come out and try to guard. But when they do get those mismatches, in the past, we've seen Tatum and Brown have a tendency to try to go one on one, and to be honest, that's how they start losing. So it's interesting to see. I don't think throughout this whole playoffs they've been tested to the degree on which I feel like they will be tested, barring injury on the Maverick side. So it's interesting to see. I feel like if Dallas, they don't have, lockdown defenders like that, but if they can get Tatum and Brown to start going ISO ball instead of having like, Derek White and Porzingis and Drew Holiday pop off, I feel like they'll have a chance. I also feel like, as crazy as it may sound, I feel like Kyrie is the X factor in this series. I say that to say in this last series versus Minnesota, he had some on and off games. And one thing we know, Tatum and Brown gonna score. And if they don't score, they have, the ability to have Porzingis or Derek White or Drew Holiday to, pick up the scoring on some nights that one of them is having an off night. Dallas don't really have that luxury. So they're gonna need Kyrie play at his fullest potential every single game to give him a chance. And because Luka is gonna be Luka, I don't really see nobody, really stopping Luka. So I feel like he gonna be, who he is. But it's all dependent on Kyrie to help keep up with the scoring pace, in my opinion. But like I said, I definitely think the Celtics will get it in six. But I'm not counting out the Mavericks at all though.
But that's why I don't really consider Kyrie an X factor in this series because I feel like what he does and what Luka does will cancel out with Jalen Brown, Jason Tatum. I mean, they all need to play well for the team to win. But an X factor that I have in this series is actually Maxi Kleber. I feel like he's gonna be very beneficial. The fact that he came back because Gafford and Lively like they were good in the last series because Minnesota relied on big. I think this series is going to be a lot of shooting, pace and space, pick and roll, and I feel like to get Porzingis and to get Al Horford out the paint, they're going to have to play Maxi Kleber, especially with that second unit. And if he can knock down shots and find that form that he definitely had in, I believe in the 22 playoff when they went to the conference finals, if he can regain that shooting form, Dallas definitely has a better shot. You probably have to play him in spurts, but if he get anywhere 20 to 25 minutes possibly and is effective, I feel like he can go a long way. And that way you can just have those bigs play all out in their time on the court. And then, like I said, bring Maxi in and, if they want to spread the court, they can also play that same way.
Um, well, one thing I noticed, like Cleveland came back, for the last game, and he was open quite a bit, but he was hesitant to shoot because, of course, he coming off that shoulder injury. So, like, I don't know if that's really like having a major effect, but it seems like it's having a degree of you know an effect to a certain degree on him because I remember the sideline reporter was even saying like he didn't even feel comfortable shooting the ball. So, hopefully they don't have to rely on him too much. Also
Yeah.
with Lively being out,
He he
uh,
came
we
he came back in game five. He didn't shoot. Game six, he actually hit a couple shots. But usually your first game back, you're gonna be more hesitant. Um, Game six, he hit an open three. He drove to the basket, I believe, and like we hit him with a layup. And then like I say, another week off, he should be okay. I'm not expecting him to be 100%. Nobody's 100% around this time. I'm just saying for the respect factor, because when Lively and Gafford's on the court, you're basically playing 4-on-5 and just trying to protect against the lob threat. With Kleba out there, you have to at least respect the fact that he can shoot that shot. And
Mhm.
that's sometimes that's all you need to give Luka extra space, give Kyrie extra space, give, Derrick Jones Jr. able to slash and, you know, be a lob threat. You don't have to change the way you play in a sense with the players, but still orchestrate the same game plan when it comes to pick and roll lob threat with a different person and Kleba out there on a corner or the top of key because you still have to respect that shot.
So basically transforming into like a more Boston like offense.
Yeah, they're gonna have to in this series.
Um, well, depending on who wins, who will this have an impact on more as far as legacy and winning their first title? Jason Tatum or Luca?
I believe Jason Tatum. I feel like this is pretty much make or break at this point for Jason Tatum. And the only reason why I say that, the way the team is orchestrated for Dallas, like yeah, you didn't really see this coming. I mean, you called it, but I don't think many people saw this coming. But the way their team structure is set up, they still have room to grow as far as with Lively's a rookie, Gafford is not, is young. What they do with Derrick Jones Jr. is going to be interesting because he definitely deserved it. He's going to get a pay raise this summer.
Mhm.
But I feel like with the tandem of Luke and Kyrie, they'll be okay. Kyrie's, as a superstar, he's not making a ton of money. But with the Celtics, Jaylen Brown is 300 plus. Jason Tatum will be 300 plus. They re-signed Drew Holiday. They re-signed Porzingis for I think a 2-year deal. Um, so this team is going to be basically the same team next year, and you're not going to have the luxury of, in my opinion, going through, injury-riddled Eastern Conference again next year. So the road to prosperity is going to be tougher. So the fact that they're here, they have the experience. Most of their guys have, with the exception of Porzingis, have played in the conference finals, have played in the finals. So I feel like if he doesn't win, it's going to be a real dagger to his legacy as, starting off. I mean, he can change it because he's still young. But Luka, I don't think Luka has a lot to gain, nothing to lose in the series. And I feel kind of the same way with Kyrie. I feel like Kyrie has changed the narrative from what he's, has happened to him over the few years. And he's also a champion. Like, he hit one of the best shots in NBA history in the finals. So if Jason Tatum loses, it's really, he has a lot to gain and a whole lot to lose when it comes to the series.
I'm actually gonna disagree with you. Now, I will say that everything you said I do agree with, but I'm gonna disagree on the standpoint of, like, as far as winning, I think it's gonna impact Luka's legacy more, because I feel like if the Celtics win this title, it's gonna be looked at as, like, they probably had one of the easiest road to the finals. Like, in every series minus this one, the team's best player has been out for 2 or more games. So I feel like legacy wise, I can see that affecting him. And then for Luka to go in through a tough Western Conference and beat the best team in the NBA all season, who I think only lost twice throughout this whole run, like, it'll just do much better for his legacy and, like, building his story as, like, the baddest guy in the game. So that's why I say, like, for Luka, it would be a greater impact on his legacy.
I mean, I agree to, it'll do a lot, but I think, people forget, like, once you really look at the playoffs and you take the seeds out of it, like, they played the Clippers without Kawhi. OKC, yeah, they had the best record, but I don't think a lot of people thought OKC was gonna go to the final. It's just like they're a good story, they're up and coming. OKC reminded me a lot of the Hawks. I think back in 2015, I believe, or
Jeff
2016.
Teague and
Yeah, well, they're number one, but nobody really thought the whole year that they were going to win the championship. It was more so like they were just an exciting story for a dormant franchise that really, had been struggling, recently, and they just had a great year. I mean, the difference is OKC is set up for the future versus, Atlanta Hawks had more veterans and things of that nature, but nobody really said the Hawks was going to win the championship that year. It was like, okay, well, as soon as they run into LeBron, it's over. Um, I don't think OKC. I think had OKC played a healthy Clippers, I feel like OKC would have lost to LA. Um, maybe the Timberwolves, they would have beat the Timberwolves, but if they would have played Denver, I would have gave Denver the series. Like, I wasn't a true believer in OKC, but I just feel like, yeah, Luka, like, he's an international, player, so of course globally it's gonna do a lot in general. Jordan Brand, but I just feel like Tatum, with the weight on his shoulders, to fail once again would be big, catastrophic. It's nothing,
definitely.
it's nothing. But if Tatum wins, then it's like, okay, and let's say he wins and he's dominant, despite the easy road to the path, people only going to remember what you did lately. So if
See,
he wins, he goes out and wins Final MVP, and he's dominant. Like, I'm talking about dominant, dominates Luka, dominates Kyrie, both ends. At that point, you have to enter him in that conversation of face and best player in the world. Like, he just catapults himself to that mantle. Maybe not the best, but he's definitely going to be in an argument.
See, but that's the thing. Like, to me, like, he hasn't really been dominant. Like, if anything, I'm not gonna say he's been carried by his teammates, but, like, on the nights that he's been off, like, his teammates been there to, like, basically fill in for that night. Like, him having that luxury, I feel like people are gonna look at it, even if he does win, as, like, unless, like you said, unless he dominates this finals, like people gonna look at it as like, you know, Jaylen Brown and Derek White and all these guys like carried and helped him. Like he didn't really stand out and go get it like himself. Like he gotta have that finals where he's the best player in the series. Like he has to have that finals to me. Like if he really wanna, you know, be the face of the NBA and prove all this stuff, he has to put his imprint on this championship.
I'm looking at stats real quick, but that's the thing about the greatness of Jason Tatum. I think he's having a quiet playoffs, and I think he's averaging 30 and 6. And that's what I mean about the narrative. It's like, yeah, they playing easy. Yeah, you have teammates. He's still averaging 30 though. Like you can't sleep on that. like you know,
Respect it.
So that's why I said if he goes out and he like clearly dominates, because when they played the Warriors, he struggled. He struggled mightily, but you can't use an injury excuse. He said he was dealing with a wrist injury or something like that. But he really struggled, and it showed in those fourth quarters where the game was close, and Curry and their big three, took showed with experience how to win. And I feel like if they use that as a learning lesson, especially Jason Tatum, that it just the narrative can go back to what it was the first couple months of this season where they was pushing for him to be MVP. Because Jason Tatum, when the season first started, was on the tear, and he was definitely getting MVP consideration. And it slowed down around the All-Star break, and they were so dominant that there's a lot of games where he coasted or didn't play in the fourth quarter, or but the narratives got spent. And yes, like I said, as a team, they had an easy ride, but it's not to say he hasn't been playing good because he's averaging 30 in the playoffs.
Now I
So
want to. I'm sorry to cut you off, but I want to say something to you that you said to me a long time ago. Like we was talking about the Heat, and you said, because I was like, "Oh, we got Goran Dragic," and you said Goran Dragic is a good player because he was averaging like 20 something around this time, but he doesn't necessarily impact the game. And that's not to say that Tatum doesn't impact the game on both ends. He's a hell of a player, but there's a reason that Jaylen Brown won the Eastern Conference MVP, because he had a greater impact on the games that was played. Like, yes, Tatum
it's
was,
it's about time.
huh?
It's about time. You remember Jalen Brown couldn't go left last year?
Yeah, I mean,
It's
but
like if
I'm
he go
just
left, the Celtics probably in the finals last year. If he go left, like, like,
this ain't this ain't about Jaylen Brown, but it's about
no, I'm just
Tatum,
saying. You
bro.
say you say he won MVP. By time,
But
do
but I'm
something.
saying, but he's putting the impact on the game, and that like Derek White makes his impact on the game. Like Tatum, like there's nights where he disappears,
Okay,
bro. So like, granted, he's
he getting
scoring
double
30
teamed.
points.
He get double teamed, so you gonna disappear.
Luka get
But
double team.
like
Luka get
okay,
double
but
team.
Luca, we know how the offense run with Luca. Come on now, there's no double teaming Luca. My thing is they play
But
hero
Tatum,
ball. They play hero ball. When you pass the ball on the wing and you get double teamed, and I pass the ball back to you, and you get to go 1-on-1. Yes, you should win MVP. You get to go 1-on-1. Like Gil, and I agree. Gil said this on his podcast a couple days ago. When you get to go 1-on-1, it's like being the number. We're gonna go throw it in football real quick. If I'm the number one corner, right, or I'm number one wide receiver, I get the number one corner. If you're the second wide receiver, you get the second corner. You should, and I'm probably getting double teamed with the safety over the top. You should get more stats than me because they're only playing you 1-on-1. You can't beat 1-on-1 coverage. Come on, Jalen. You finally start going left, and I like Jalen Brown. He activist and all that, but it's like let's not spend it like what more you want J7 average 40? That'd be enough for you. He averages 30. 30 ain't good, boy.
it's,
In
but
today's NBA, 30 is not good.
that's
Damn.
not what I'm saying, bro. You putting words in my mouth. I
I'm
want
just
him to
saying.
show up. Nah, I want him to show up when it's time to show up, bro. You all that trading buckets. Who made the tying shot to go into overtime against the Pacers? Jaylen Brown. I want Jason Tatum. They say, give me the ball, get out the way, let me go 1-on-1 and hit the big shot. That's all I'm asking for, bro. He not taking the game over, bro.
See,
He not showing up in the significant
see,
moments, bro.
see, recent history is clown. I feel you though, but memory is clown people's minds because like I remember Jason Tatum grabbing that ball in Game 7 against the Heat, and that's why the Heat didn't go to the final. But a lot of people don't remember that.
No, we ain't go to the finals because Jimmy then pulled up for a 3. That's why we ain't go to the final. He
No,
should
I
have
mean
He had Al Horford on the fast break, bro. He should have went to the basket, tied the
man,
game, bro.
Jimmy knee was shot, but we ain't got to go back to that. That's why Jimmy went for that 3. That knee was shot.
And
He did
then
all he could do.
if Tatum would have played better in that game to begin with, it wouldn't have been close.
You're right, but
That's my point.
you're right. My best player, my best teammate can go left. So it's like it's either
It's Jaylen Brown's fault.
no, I ain't Jalen Brown. I listen to NBA players. I listen to the players that play against the players. And Draymond Green literally said the game plan was to make Jason Tatum go left. I mean, Jaylen Brown go left because everybody knew he cannot go left, and that was what won them the final. It came out of Draymond's mouth. He played against him. I'm just taking the messenger. That's it. I'm just a messenger.
I'm just saying. I'm just saying. All I'm saying, bro. It's no smut on Jason Tatum, bro. I respect his game, bro. I'm just saying when it's time to take over and go kill, take the ball out of Jaylen Brown's hands and go do it yourself. That's all I'm saying, bro.
Listen,
that's all I'm saying.
Their back since that he been been in the league all damn near. So listen,
True.
my time you came to the party. I've been here. Pull up a seat. That's it.
Nah, they went and got reinforcements. That's what they went and got.
Who they reinforcement was?
Derek White, Kristaps Porzingis, and Drew Holiday.
Derek White been on that team the last 3-4 years. He ain't a reinforcement. It's Drew Holiday and Porzingis.
Come on now, bro. Bruh, come on now. In all them battles against the Heat, bro, Derek White was killing the Heat, bro. Come on now, don't do that.
I'm just saying, Derek White.
Don't do that.
Derek White was on that same.
I done seen games where Tatum and Brown struggled together. Not Jaylen Brown struggled and Tatum had a good game. They done struggled together, bro.
I'm just asking a simple question: was Derek White on that court when they played the Warriors? Yes or no?
Yeah, but but if we gonna throw our blame, so is Marcus Smart just pulling up from 3. If we gonna throw our blame,
nah, we gonna blame it on Marcus Smart. Boy,
but you blaming on Jaylen Brown,
superstar, ain't he? The Marcus Smart, everybody say Marcus Smart was superstar.
I thought he was number 2. I thought Tatum was number 1. You said it out of your own mouth. He struggled in that. He struggled in the finals. But so it wasn't just Jaylen Brown.
But I'm getting double teamed. Can you do something? Can you help me?
Now you getting double teamed.
Steph
Curry was getting double teamed.
You can't double team Steph Curry.
You shouldn't be able to double team Jason Tatum. Is what I'm telling you. Man, 6'10", bro.
All right, so now we got to blame the coach,
bro. You got it, bro. You got it.
Everybody knows Jason Tatum is Batman and Jaylen Brown is Robin. By the time Robin came to the party to help Batman save the world.
Bro, I'm not disagreeing with you, bro. All I'm saying is the man need to grab the moment. Don't let Jaylen Brown cost you the series. Go and take it, bro. If it means going out there and scoring 40, go score 40.
You about to make me look at these playoff stats because you just hyping up Jason Brown.
I'm not, bro. You blaming it on Jaylen Brown and saying that he basically handicapped the man since they've been since they've been a duo. All I'm saying is, if Jason Tatum, the MVP caliber person that you saying, why is he not going out there and doing it, bro? That's all I'm saying.
Jason Tatum, 20-10. Ain't much I can do. Jason Tatum, 26 points, 10 rebounds, 6 assists. Jaylen Brown, 25 points, 4 rebounds. No, wait, 6 rebounds, 2 assists. So I'm passing you the ball. About time you make a shot. I'm just saying, golly, man got left hand dribble this shit. Not here. Now he just the second coming of Jordan. Boy, that's crazy. Talk about this man MVP. Get MVP next series. How about that? Then I'll be quiet. But we know he ain't gonna do that. Kyrie force him to go left.
Jaylen Brown actually be guarding the best players too.
Not Drew Holiday, but okay.
Yeah, we'll see. Drew Holiday ain't gonna be able to do nothing with Luka. Neither is Jaylen Brown, but he gonna have the tags.
Ain't nobody dealing with Luka.
Yeah, but we gonna we got a finals coming up, bro. We gonna get more into it, bro.
You right.
Bro,
Right after game one.
bro about to get me hot, bro. Talk about some damn Jason Tatum. I don't give a
Hey,
damn.
hey, you already know I go off and do players. Stop playing.
Kyrie.
Hey, I ain't saying one negative word about Kyrie since we started. You already know what it is about Kyrie. My jersey up in the closet.
But all right, man, we gonna move on to the team that these two finals teams eliminated. We're gonna start with the Indiana Pacers. Um, they got a lot of questions this summer. You know, Obi Toppin, a free agent, Pascal Siakam, a free agent. Uh, I believe TJ McConnell is up for an extension. I think Nimhard is either this year or next year.
It's early
And
nature.
and then you got they did all of this without Ben Mathurin. So and I know earlier people was talking about trading him. Where do you see the Pacers going from here to get better?
It's very interesting. They have different avenues that they can take. Um, I feel like they really should. I mean, definitely number one, resign Pascal. He just fits their team. I think the Obi Toppin signing is going to be very interesting. I think he's earned some money the way he played in the playoffs, but I don't know if they, being the small market they are, will they, take that chance to re-sign him? He's a bench player. So definitely Nemhard, I believe they have until next year. I feel like he's rising. I feel like he can definitely continue to be that one, that backcourt duo with Halliburton. And Mathurin, I'm curious to see how Mathurin fits with the team. Mathurin was his first 2 years was a real like scorer, but with this team and what they kind of formed into is really a ball movement type of team. Like I said, he can't play like that, but he was basically put on points when the Pacers were struggling. So I'm very interested to see if they try to incorporate him back into this team and possibly into the starting lineup, or do they use him, in a trade? But uh, they're one of the interesting teams. I feel like they won't make a big splash this summer, but little subtle moves can kind of show if they're going to just really go back all in, or they're just going to, try to do a different way and still remain competitive.
I think definitely your first thing to do, resign Pascal. It's a no brainer. Who else you gonna get to come to Indiana? You know, Obi, I think he's gone. They got, you know, wings on the bench that they didn't really, or, big wings, hybrid wings on the bench that they really didn't get to last year. They drafted Jarris Walker, and I know they're pretty high on him. Um, so I believe they probably think he can come in and fill that role. They got Isaiah Jackson Smith, Jalen Smith on the bench. And he had a good before he got injured. He had a pretty good year last year. Um, I'm interested to see what they're gonna do with Mr. T.J. Nash, T.J. McConnell. You know,
Mm-hmm.
uh, I know the Suns. They was interested in him all last year. They really wanted a point guard. I could see him being. Uh, I don't think he'll be traded this year, but whenever he is a free agent, I don't think Indiana really gonna be, jumping at the bit to pay him. Maybe I don't know. We'll have to see how it play out. And then as far as Mathurin, man, I think he really gonna have to seeing what your team did this year without you. He really gonna have to be that he gonna have to embrace that 6 man of the year role, man. Cause and then I feel like that, like, cause he's not really the defender Nimhard is, so I just don't see where he fits in that lineup. Like, and the Pacers not even known for being like a lockdown defensive team already, but they better lineup is with Miles Turner, Siakam, Neesmith, and Nimhard rather than throwing him in. They already have enough offense as it is, so I don't think that would be you know the problem. So I think he would just have to embrace that. If he doesn't, I definitely see them moving on from him. Um, I don't want to sell the Pacers short. I just think with everybody coming back healthy next year, the Bucks, Philly, the Knicks, it's kind of hard to see them repeating the same run. Hopefully they prove me wrong. I really like Halliburton. I like the way he plays. Um, I think for them to unlock more, he's definitely gonna have to score more on a consistent basis. Like maybe become a 30 and 10 guy instead of 25 and 12. Become 30 and 12 guy. I'd like to see that jump in his game. But they definitely gonna be in the playoff race next year. With the fall of the Hawks, we don't know what the Heat gonna do next year. So they're definitely gonna be in the conversation. But on the other side, we saw the Minnesota Timberwolves be eliminated. They had an incredible run. We on our first episode was declaring Anthony Edwards, future face of the NBA. And I still think that. I still think, him, Wembanyama, you could throw Luka and Jokic in there. They're gonna be and SGA, Tatum, since we got Tatum fans on here. They're gonna be like the five
That's
faces
hate.
of the NBA. I ain't
That's
hating,
hate.
bro.
That's
I
hate.
mentioned the man name, bro.
That's
I
hate.
mentioned the
I'm talking
man
about
name.
second part of what you said. That's hate. Go ahead.
I ain't hating, bro. I respect his fans, bro.
That's hate. Go ahead.
Hey, Tatum cold, bro. Don't get it twisted. If I could have Tatum on my team, bro, I would take him, bro. So
I know.
I'll put it like that. I don't hate the guy, bro. I'm just saying,
The job was
show
hate. I ain't
show
talking about.
me, bro. Show me you a real MVP, bro.
He got the same award Jalen Brown got just now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he
What
still
was it,
got
finals
zero
first round?
rings as of now. So
They both
I'm
do.
need him to get one.
Hey, we need Jalen
That's
Brown to get
all I'm
another.
asking
Hey,
for.
come on, back to
Hey,
back to
bro,
you
see,
throwing
you trying to
shots.
get me started, bro.
Nah, you throwing shots,
Hey,
man.
don't let the Mavericks. Hey, I picked the Celtics to win. Don't let the Mavericks win, boy. I'm going crazy in here. I tell you right now.
Hey, listen, if the Mavericks win and Jalen Brown and Jason Tatum do his thing and Jalen Brown play like Jalen Brown will play at times, you still can't go at Jason Tatum. That what you want him to do? Be Jordan now? Like it's only one Jordan.
All right, bro. Moving on to the Wolves, bro, because this man gonna go all day long about this now Jason Tatum, bro. Uh,
Get my Jason Tatum jersey. Go ahead, man.
yeah, don't wear that down here. But
Nah, I'm talking about the Duke version.
but we there's big questions surrounding Cat, Rudy Gobert, obviously, and their efforts in this past series. The rise of Nas Reed, Jaden McDaniels, they had a good playoff run. Where do you see they got a crazy ownership battle happening right now, which is crazy. Where do you see this team going as far as like the future?
Truly believe they should get rid of Cat. They could use a point guard. Conley's getting older, but Conley's like 36. They can use another one. I like their wing. I like the younger guys that really don't play. I feel like once they get in like another summer league under their belt, and Minot and Wendell Moore, excuse me. I feel like they can become rotational pieces. But I feel like they got to get rid of Cat. I don't like Cat mentality. As a big, I don't like. I think it was game 2. They lost. In that press conference, he was laughing like, "Ain't nothing funny. You in the conference finals, man." Like, and it's like maybe I just because I come from that era, like I just come from that era where they asked Kobe, and I'm gonna get back to Minnesota, but when they asked Kobe, how he felt about getting to the finals, and he was like, "Job not done." Like, and he kept having like trying to make him like change his demeanor. It was like he asked a rhetorical question back, like, "Is the job done?" Like, there's nothing to play about. Like, till you complete the mission, there's nothing to laugh about, nothing to joke about. Especially when you lose. And it's like you had the clear matchup advantage every night. Clear. Like PJ Washington 6'7". He athletic, but you're 7 foot tall, 250. And, if he was making them, fine. But he was missing at least triple the amount he was making. I think they had a stat where he was like 4 for 30 or something crazy from 3-point line. And it's like, no, post PJ Washington up. Like, you want to wait to game 5, game 6 to finally start going to the hole. Like, it probably been a way different series had he forced and put his will and his imprint on the game. And I feel like, Anthony Edwards is in that mold of Kobe and Jordan as far as mentality. Like how, he feels like he's better than everybody on the court, no matter who he line up against. And you need somebody, that's going to kind of match that same mentality or at least come close to it. Um, and give you another quick Kobe story. They're right, Kobe thing. But I remember he said in the interview that, throughout his battles with Shaq, when he really finally missed Shaq was when he got Dwight Howard on his team because they were in the playoffs and they had lost, I think, game one against Phoenix in the first round. And, when they got him back to the locker room, Dwight Howard was laughing and joking and playing, trying to play with teammates. And he was like, "Man, we just lost. Like, what you happy about?" And he was like, with Shaq, yeah, Shaq, didn't probably work out like he should in the summer. But when it came to the season, and especially the playoffs, like Shaq came to play. And if had they lost and it was Shaq, that whole locker room would have been destroyed. That's how much Shaq cared. So it's different when you play with somebody that care as much as you, and it's supposed to be, your Robin, the Robin to your Batman. You can't have a Robin laughing around, playing around, and joking when you trying to win. So I just think mentality wise, like Cat is a talent, no doubt. But I just feel like they'll be better off trying to move him to pieces and try to build out maybe even a deeper team. But who that's gonna be, I couldn't tell you right now. I probably have to deep dive into that one. But I just feel like Cat needs to be somewhere where there's no expectations and he can go out there and just play around like Dwight Howard used to when he played. That's
Hey, boy,
just
you
my opinion.
you on fire today, boy.
That's just my opinion.
But
Just be my opinion.
this man on one. But I definitely think Cat is gone. Not just because he didn't show up when he needed to, but they they about to have a money dilemma. And one thing about their current owner, he hasn't really paid over like the luxury tax in the past couple of years. So they're gonna have to figure something out with Anthony Edwards extension, Rudy Gobert his contract, and then Cat his supermax getting ready to kick in. They're gonna have to move him regardless. I'm kind of like, for me, I think what Cat needs to work on is his defense because he wasn't able to get in the rhythm the whole series because he was fouling the whole time. And that's not just this year. Like the first year they went to the playoffs, played against the Grizzlies, him and Anthony Edwards when they was together. The Pat Bev championship era. Cat was fouling so much in that series, he was getting played off the floor. And it's so apparent now because they have a guy named Nas Reed sitting on that bench. Sixth man of the year. He's outplaying Cat in so many ways through the course of this playoff run. Now Cat is basically expendable. I like what you said though. I definitely think they need to upgrade the point guard position. Mike Conley had a phenomenal playoffs, but he's getting older, so I feel like that's they definitely need like more defensive pieces because Ant can't be chasing Kyrie around. That's why he got so tired off rip. Came off a 7-game series with the Nuggets. Now he if he gonna be your offensive star, he can't be chasing around Kyrie every possession. That's just not good. And then they also need to get a defensive four or another defensive big, so that way when Rudy, if it's not his matchup, kind of like Nas Reed, somebody that can come in and better defend certain matchups. I feel like. I wanted to get your opinion on this proposed trade I had saw online. Basically, the Wizards got the number 2 pick, and they would trade Cat for Kyle Kuzma in the second overall pick, and they would draft somebody like Reed Shepherd from Kentucky as like the point guard of the future. What's your thoughts on the trade like that?
You got me thinking about this in real time. Actually, on first thought, I actually like it. I feel like Kuzma has improved a lot since he left LA. And unlike Karl-Anthony Towns, I understand if Kuzma standing in the corner shooting. Like I understand. Uh, and I actually like Reed Shepard, especially defensively, um, as potentially to learn under Conley and potentially, take his job one day. I think that's actually a decent deal that Minnesota should probably consider, actually.
Shout out to that boy AM Hoops on YouTube for cooking that up. That's who I saw that on. I just remembered. But
Nah.
I want to get into a little WNBA. Aja Wilson, man, just got her first shoe deal. It's about time. She deserved it. She really been great since she came in the league. And, of course, we got this new era of players with, Caitlin Clark, Angel Reese, Cameron Brink, and amongst others. And I feel like, she not really getting that shine. Now, her team is 4-2, as of right now. And she's putting up 27, almost 27 points and 13 rebounds a game with 3 blocks and a steal a game. I just wanted to give her flowers, man. And, this we talking about, defensive player of the year, all WNBA, finals MVP, multiple championship rings, MVPs. Is there a reason that, she's like to people that's not real, the casuals, that she's going under the radar a little bit?
I really like Asia. Um, I kind of feel like her game and her presence and her personality reminds me a lot of Tim Duncan.
I knew he was gonna say that.
So it's very low maintenance. Like you understand the greatness, but it's not the most popular thing to talk about, or it's not the most attention grabbing thing when she walks into the arena or walks into the court or how she plays the game of basketball. I think she kind of suffers from that. It's unfortunate. I think she might be one of those players where she might get her. She's let's just say she's due her flowers now, but I feel like she might be one of those players as the years add up, like Tim Duncan did, and you realize how much they actually accomplished over the course of her career. And she started getting the flowers towards the end, like Tim did. When you saw Tim went the, I think it was what 7 finals, won 5 of them, and now he's critically acclaimed the greatest power forward ever. But he was never the sexy All Star pick, or he did win MVP, but he wasn't the most popular player. He was just you just paid him his respect as of why he was playing, and I feel like she's following that same trajectory.
Yeah, I definitely I actually like that comparison. I feel like, she's not controversial or anything like that. She says all the right things. You just go out there and hoop. Like, um, that Aces team has been a juggernaut, for a while now. And, a dynasty. And she's been a big part of that. Hopefully people, now that more eyes are on the game, people will start to recognize that, her coming out with a shoe, people will start to go buy that, hooping those, so she can get her just due. I just hope that, the greatness that we seeing in front of us doesn't go unnoticed, because she's definitely deserving. And I don't know, were you able to see that incident yesterday in the Fever and Sky game?
Yeah, with Caitlyn and can't remember the other
Uh,
lady's name.
Chan Carter, last name Carter.
Yeah.
Uh, I don't know how to pronounce her first name. I don't want to butcher it, so her last name Carter. What was your thoughts on that? Because it caused the uproar on social media.
I feel like it's very unnecessary. Um, it's a lot of hate, in my opinion, that's going on. I feel like you know, I think it's bad for women's sports, in general. Um, and you can feel the way you feel about said player, and they to you they might not be as special as other people making them. Once again, that's hate. But the cheap shots are definitely not uncalled for. If you want to play aggressive defense, if you want to show that you're better, or this person is not as as good as they're hyped up to be, you can let your play do that on the court. But taking cheap shots, hitting people when they're not looking, it's not football, it's basketball. So I just feel like that is just totally unnecessary.
Yeah, I definitely think it's a target on both her and Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese back. As we saw like the foul on Angel Reese last week. For me, I wasn't as hyped up about it as everybody making it seem, because to be honest, they was kind of like jawing with each other before that. Caitlin threw a little elbow, that wasn't really called. So like to me, I wasn't like too crazy about it compared to some of the other ones, but I do like stemming from her comments. It does like I'm not saying she felt that way, but it does come off that way. How she was just saying like at first she didn't want to talk about her, but then basically came out and said like all she does is make jump shots, you know. But I don't know. The Fever owner came out and said that it needs to be put to an end and that these players definitely have a vendetta against her. I'm just hoping that it doesn't end in like injury, because you know definitely don't want to take her away from the game.
Yeah,
She is a draw for them right now, so it's one of them things that you would hate to see like some of this stuff go too far. I understand roughing up the rook and all, but keep it on the court. Keep basketball. That's
yeah. I
all.
mean, like I've seen NBA players, NBA rookies, or you see people go through the lane, they might get an elbow, an extra little nudge, but when it's dead ball and you just clocking somebody, like that's where it's like, it's a little bit too much. Because now it's
Oh,
like when you start hitting people when they're not looking, it's like that's where you get injured from the whiplash or other things. Like that's the cheap shot. Like you keep it, you can give a little elbow going to the lane and stuff like that. I get that, but the whole back not looking, and there's just certain things that just get across the line. Because if it was your friend, your relative, you wouldn't like that. So
yeah.
just like I say, keep it basketball.
What's worse, the Caitlin Clark Angel Reese hard foul montage, or the Draymond Green montage?
Draymond Green by far.
Hey, that
I
turnaround
love
punch,
I
that
love
turnaround
Draymond, but
punch, that turnaround
Draymond,
punch is crazy.
you can pull up Draymond. I think a Draymond hit compilation on YouTube, and it'll make you laugh, man. Draymond he's a wild guy, you know.
Hey, him choking out Rudy Gobert was the moment of the season for me, bro.
Oh yeah, yeah, that was wild.
The
I
man was
mean,
tapping out,
he kicked Steven Adams in the nuts. It's just
stepped on
he.
Sabonis' chest,
Hey man, listen, listen. Draymond is, he's going down in history, man.
punched his own teammate, bro.
Hey,
Can't make it up.
that, hey, listen.
But anything you want to say before we get out of here?
No, no, just want people out there that's listening. Stay blessed, do the right thing, live right.
Straight like that. Words from a wise man. As always, I'm your host, Ron the Don. My co-host for Off the Court, Ty. Follow us on the gram. We'll put that information up. Again, we very appreciative for the views. We just ask that you like, share, comment, subscribe. If you're listening to us on the podcast outlet, a review and a follow and a subscription would be helpful. And with that said, we out.
Trip forever and I'm just not getting started. That's the one. Yeah.